Hi, welcome to EPG Pathshala Spanish. We are in the paper called Intermediate Grammar, and today in this module we are going to be dealing with the common errors in the Spanish language. The objective of this module is that in any other language which we are trying to pick up, we commit mistakes, and in Spanish also we are going to be making mistakes. But we can avoid these pitfalls if we try to learn all the common errors that are made while speaking Spanish or writing Spanish also. So let us have a look at all these common errors. The first thing that we should be careful about is the capitalization in Spanish. Spanish and English capitalizations are very different. It is much less common in Spanish. So the capitalization is very much less common in Spanish. Many words that must be capitalized in English cannot be in Spanish. So the words that are capitalized in English are not capitalized in Spanish. So go through the following to make sure that you are not over capitalizing your Spanish. You have a list of words, you are supposed to learn them up and understand that you should not make capitals in these in Spanish which are capital in English. 1. The first person singular subject pronouns do not take capital letters. So I repeat, the first person singular subject pronouns. The first person singular subject pronouns do not take capital letters. For example, he said, I love you. In Spanish would be dijo, yo te amo. So the I is not necessarily in capital letters. It is not in capital letters, never. Yo te amo. Right? So the yo always comes in minusculas, in small. And the I in English always comes in capital. I eat, I love, I walk, I talk. Yo como, yo amo, yo hablo. The second thing that has to be kept in mind are the days of the weeks, the months of the year, etc. So we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. In Spanish, it is lunes without capitalization, martes without capitalization, miércoles without capitalization, etc. We also have things like January, February, March, enero, febrero, marzo, like E small, F of febrero small, marzo M small. All these are in small letters. The titles. We can only capitalize the first word and proper names if any. So for example, the general in his labyrinth, which is a very important book, El General en su laberinto. The general in his labyrinth, El General en su laberinto. Like water for chocolate, which is a very important movie, Como agua para chocolate. So the English has water with capital and chocolate with capital. In Spanish, this only como with the capital, otherwise it is como agua para chocolate. Fourthly, the languages. For example, Spanish, Russian, English, French, Español, Inglés, Ruso, Francés. All these are capitals in English, but in Spanish they are minusculas. Fifth are the nationalities, right? So when I say I'm Indian, I will say soy indio without the capitalization. Soy indio. He has a Spanish flag. Tiene una bandera española. She met a French person. Encontró un francés. French in Spanish is francés without the mayúsculas. Española is Spanish but without the mayúsculas, and indio is Indian but without the mayúsculas. Clear? Now the sixth one that has to be kept in mind is religion. The names of most religions, their adjectives and their adherents, proper nouns, are not capitalized in Spanish. So names of religions, adjectives and their adherents, proper nouns, are not capitalized in Spanish. Hinduism, el hinduismo. Note that there is an exception. When Islam is used as an adjective, it is written with a capital in the beginning. So for example, Islam, el Islam with a capital Islam. but this is the only exception. Now, let us move on to another set of rules which are called the false cognates. There are many words that have the same roots in the Romance languages and in English. However, there are also a great many falsos amigos or false cognates which look similar but are in fact very different. This is one of the biggest pitfalls for students of Spanish. Actual versus actual. So, for example, we say actual means current or present. El presidente actual vive en Madrid. The current president lives in Madrid. El presidente actual vive en Madrid. Or the second example is actualmente, which means currently or present or now. Actual means verdadero or efectivo. So be very careful of what is the meaning that you are wanting to communicate. Actual, which is current or present, or actualmente, which is currently, at present or now. And actual means verdadero or efectivo also. Arena versus arena. Arena means sand and arena means amphitheatro, redondel, plaza. So be very careful of which arena you are talking about. The arena which means sand or amphitheatro, redondel or plaza. Right? Complexion versus complexion. Complexion with an accent refers to one's constitution, a makeup, the temperament or a physical build. Complexion, la tez, el cutis o la piel. Another one which is the falso amigo is called the difference between discutir versus discuss. Discutir is stronger than discuss, more like debate or more in the terms of an argument or argue. Discuss is hablar de or tratar de or comentar. So discutir is a very strong argument or a debate, and discuss is hablar, tratar de, comentar. So be very careful when you're talking about this. Educación versus education is also a falso amigo. Educación has a broader meaning than education. The Spanish world's best translation is upbringing, which includes both school education as well as what a child learns at home. So upbringing is the educación. Education is best translated by formación o enseñanza. So the education is formación académica or enseñanza académica. Another big mistake that students make, which is a falso amigo, is embarazada versus embarrassed. Embarazada means pregnant. It can also be a noun. Una embarazada, a pregnant woman, an expectant mother. Embarrassed is avergonzado, molesto or incómodo. So be very careful. Estoy embarazado or embarazada means that you're pregnant, right? And if you're talking about you're ashamed or embarrassed, then you say avergonzado, molesto or incómodo. Familiar versus familiar. Familiar is an adjective which means in Spanish family, familiar, domestic, informal, plain or colloquial. So familiar means family, domestic, informal, plain or colloquial. As a noun, it refers to a relative or a close friend. So as an adjective, it means domestic, informal, plain or colloquial, and as a noun, it refers to relative or a close friend. Familiar is not only an adjective. Familiar, conocido, común, familiarizado, íntimo, etc. have a different meaning altogether, which is the adjective of the familiar. Patron versus patron. Patron can indicate a boss or owner as well as a pattern or a standard. Patron, on the other hand, is a patronizador or cliente. So when you're talking about patron, it can be your boss or owner, but when you talk about the patron, it can be the patronizador or cliente. Be very careful between the two. The same sense, preservativo versus preservative. Preservativo indicates a condom and preservative is a conservador. So be very careful that preservative is conservador and preservativo is a condom. Raro versus rare. Raro can mean rare but more commonly means odd or strange. So raro is rare, odd or strange, and rare is poco común or excepcional. So when you're wanting to talk about something which is rare, you will say poco común or excepcional in español. The other falso amigo is recordar versus record. Recordar means to remember, recall or remind, and record is equivalent to registrar, inscribir or arabar. Another falso amigo is red versus red. Red refers to a network. La red de Airtel. Okay, it refers to the network of Airtel. Red is the color which means rojo. So when you're talking about red, it is talking about a network. So if you say la red, the Spaniards take it for granted that you're talking about a network. La red no funciona hoy, the network is not working today. But when you're talking about the color, then you have to say rojo. Mi camisa es roja. Mi camisa es roja. My shirt is red. Ropa versus rope. Ropa means clothing. Ropa is clothing. And rope is a cuerda or una soga. Sano versus sane. Sano means healthy, fit or intact. Es un chico sano. He is healthy, fit or intact. For example, Salman Khan es muy sano. Salman Khan is very healthy, right? Sane means cuerdo, sensato or de juicio sano, right? So sane means cuerdo, sensato or de juicio sano. Soportar versus support. This is also a place where all of us have seen that many students make mistakes is soportar versus support. Soportar means to bear, to carry, to support, to hold up or to withstand. Soportar means to bear, to carry, to support, to hold up or to withstand. No lo soporto, which means I cannot tolerate it. And support means apoyar. It is a verb. When we are talking about the genders also, there are many falsos amigos. In general, Spanish nouns that end in O are masculine and those that are ending in an A are feminine. This is a rule, but there are some exceptions to this rule also. Masculine nouns that end in A and feminine nouns that end in O, we are giving a list in the e-text. Please take a printout of that list and remember it by heart. So, for example, we have el aroma, which is aroma or scent, but aroma, even though it is ending in R, is el aroma. La disco, so disco ends in O, but it is la disco, and disco means the disco. El Canada, which is Canada, even though Canada is ending in R, the article to be used is el. La photo, photograph, even though photo ends with O, it is always feminine, la photo. Clima, for example, ends in A, but like the others, it is el clima or climate, right? La mano, the hand. Mano ends in O, but it is la mano, always feminine, la mano. El cometa, the comet. It is also ending in A, el cometa, but it is never la cometa, it is always el cometa. When you're talking about a motorcycle, la moto, even though it is O, even then it is la moto. El cura, even though it is ending with A, it means the priest and it is el cura. La radio also is another example where radio ends with O, but it is always la radio. Other examples that we're going to be talking about is, for example, el idioma, the language. Idioma is ending with A, but it is always el idioma. El mapa, which is the map, is always el mapa. El morphema, which is morpheme, is always el morphema. El panorama, which is panorama, is always el panorama. El planeta, which is planet, is always el planeta. El poema, which is poem, is always el poema. El problema, which is a problem, is always el problema. El programa also in the same sense is program, but it is always el programa. El síntoma, which is a symptom, is always el síntoma. El sistema, which is a system, is always el sistema. Other examples are el diagrama, or the diagram or outline, which is always el diagrama. El dilemma, which is dilemma, is always el dilemma. El diploma, which is a diploma, is always el diploma. So, el diploma en español. El drama, which is drama, is always el drama, not la drama ever. El dia, which is day, it is always el dia, even though it is ending in a. So, el dia. El enigma, which is enigma, is always el enigma. El esquema, which is outline, is always el esquema. And continuing with the same list, we can say el fantasma, which is ghost, el fantasma. So we see that the list is quite long. We also have el sofa, which is sofa, it is always el sofa. El tanga, which is thong or G-string, is always el tanga. El telegrama, which is always telegrama, el telegrama is telegram. El teorema, which is theorem, is always el teorema. El tema, which is theme, is always el tema. El tranvía also in the same sense is the streetcar, but it always el tranvía. El trauma also in the same sense is trauma, but el trauma, it remains el trauma. Now let us go to verbs which are different and have different meanings in Spanish. The first verb that we would like to discuss today is saber versus conocer. Saber and conocer can both be translated by the English verb to know. So, saber and conocer can both be translated by the English verb to know, but they are used in completely different situations in Spanish. Saber in Spanish means to know a fact or to know how to do something. It is often followed by an infinitive or a subordinated clause. So, saber means to know a fact or to know how to do something. And the examples are: no sé la respuesta. I do not know the answer. ¿Sabéis español? Do you know Spanish? Sabemos nadar. We know how to swim. So these are knowing something to do, how to do it. On the other hand, conocer means to know someone or to be familiar with someone or something or somewhere. So knowing someone or to be familiar with someone or something or some place, it can only be followed by a direct object, never by an infinitive or a subordinated clause. Remember that if the direct object is a person, the preposition a must be used with conocer. So the examples are: conozco a tu madre. I know your mother. Conozco a tu madre. No conocen la obra de Tagore. No conocen la obra de Tagore. They are not familiar with Tagore's work. ¿Usted conoce Nueva Delhi? Are you familiar with New Delhi? The next verb that we would like to discuss today is kedar. The use of the word kedar or the verb kedar can be very confusing and can be difficult to use and understand. One of the most common uses of kedar is to arrange to meet. It is used when we plan to meet people. Where can we meet? ¿Dónde podemos quedar? So, quedar is for arranging to meet. ¿Dónde podemos quedar? Quedar also means to come to an agreement. This is normally used when two people discuss something and then come to an agreement. So, if you just want to ask something or someone, do you agree? You would say, ¿Estás de acuerdo? They all agreed not to tell you anything. Quedaron en no decirte nada. They agreed not to tell you anything is quedaron en no decirte nada. We also use quedar to speak about the effects or result of something after something has happened, and it is similar to become, to end up, or to be left. María became pregnant. María se quedó embarazada. María se quedó embarazada. Quedar can also mean to stay or to remain. He is going to stay at home tonight. Él va a quedar en casa esta noche. Él va a quedar en casa esta noche. Quedar can also mean to have left and also to have left over. There is no tea left. No quédate. Note that there are many other uses of the verb quedar. You will learn them in the future modules that we are going to be doing. There are several different Spanish equivalents for the English verb to become, depending upon several factors. Ponerse is followed by an adjective and indicates an involuntary physical or emotional state. Hacerse and llegar a ser are followed by a noun or adjective, and there are several different Spanish equivalents for the English verb to become, depending upon several factors. Ponerse is followed by an adjective and indicates an involuntary physical or emotional change. Me puse enfermo en Patna. I got sick in Patna. Me puse enfermo en Patna. Volverse is followed by an adjective and indicates a sudden, profound change. Se volvió loco. Se volvió loca. She went crazy or he went crazy. Se volvió loco. Se volvió loca. Hacerse and llegar a ser are followed by a noun or adjective and indicate a change brought about by effort. Me hice ingeniero. I became an engineer. Me hice ingeniero. So, hacerse and llegar a ser are indicating a change brought about by an effort. Me hice ingeniero. Convertirse en and transformarse en are followed by a noun and usually indicate a change to a thing rather than a person. So, when you're talking about a change in a thing or a person rather than a person, then we use the verbs convertirse en and transformarse en. Realize. If you want to say realize in Spanish, you have to say darse cuenta, not realizar. So, realize in Spanish becomes darse cuenta, not realizar. When I went to call you, I realized that I had lost your number. Cuando fui a llamarte, me di cuenta de que había perdido tu número. So, me di cuenta is I realized that. Me di cuenta de que había perdido tu número. Ask and ask for are also two different verbs in Spanish. To ask is preguntar, when you want to know something, and pedir is to ask for, when you want something, like you want to ask her where she lived. Le pregunté dónde vivía. I asked him for a cigarette. Le pedí un cigarro. Le pregunté dónde vivía. I asked her where she lived. Y le pedí un cigarro. I asked him for a cigarette. So, preguntar dónde vivía, you asked where she lived, and pedí un cigarro is you asked for a cigarette. Entradas. Billetes are for travel tickets. We use entradas for ticket to the theater or cinema or espectáculos. So, billetes are travel tickets and entradas are theater or cinema tickets. By the way, a showing in the cinema is el pase o la sesión. A performance at the theater is la función. So for example, is for the tickets is there aren't any tickets left for the 8 o'clock showing. No quedan entradas para el pase de las 8. No quedan entradas para el pase de las 8. When you want to talk about your oldest or your youngest brother, you have to use mayor or menor. My oldest brother lives in Paris. Mi hermano mayor vive en París. Mi hermano mayor vive en París. Diane is my youngest daughter. Diana is my youngest daughter. Diane es mi hija menor. Or Diane es mi hija pequeña. So you can use hija menor or hija pequeña for conveying that she is your youngest daughter. Regarding and to respect are also different. You have to be careful with the difference between respeto a, regarding, and respeto, respect. We have serious doubts regarding the safety of the braking system. Tenemos serias dudas respecto a la seguridad del sistema de frenos. He has no respect for the law. No tiene respeto por la ley. So there are two different things that you're communicating. Tenemos serias dudas respecto a la seguridad del sistema de frenos and no tiene respeto por la ley. Common expressions which are usually mistaken for are in the morning, por la mañana, early in the morning, temprano por la mañana, at midday, al mediodía, at lunchtime, a la hora de comer, in the evening, por la tarde, at midnight, a medianoche, in the early hours of the morning, por la madrugada, very late at night, a las tantas. So, to conclude, what we would like to say is that we have given lists of all the common mistakes which are being made in Spanish. Take out a printout from the e-text section and deal with it by learning them, memorizing them, and doing the exercises which come in the self-assessment section of this module. And we will learn from our mistakes and we will make better Spanish usage in the future. Thank you for your attention.